My winter nights are taken up by static, stress and holiday shopping traffic. But I close my eyes and I'm somewhere else, just like magic.
Hi, this is How to Play Christmas Tree Farm by Taylor Swift, Part 1. This is an extremely simple song, so I've pitched this tutorial as completely for beginners. All the tutorials I do will be at 3 different levels. Basically, all music involves chords, and you'll need to know all of your chords if you want to play piano music in the future. This is a level 1 tutorial. It will teach you a quarter of all of your chords. Also, the introduction introduces some jazz chords, which are quite cool but very simple. And so I'll use this introduction to teach you some theory. And then by the time you finish this song, you'll know all of your basic chords, which will give you strong foundations for all of the songs you're going to play in the future. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. And now on to the fun part, playing.
Okay, so I'm going to begin by doing a little bit of theory. Arguably, some might say this song is, well, probably a professional musician would say this song is in G Mixolydian mode, but I can't be bothered with that. I prefer to think of it in C. It's a lot simpler that way. So basically, it uses all the notes that are found in C major, okay? I've written the scale of C major here. Each scale has, as you see, has 7 different notes. So it goes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then the 8th note is C again. So you've got 7 different notes, okay? Now, for those people who don't actually know any of your notes on the piano, what I suggest you do is learn middle C. Middle C is next to 2 black notes. You find them running up the piano. And then F is next to the 3 black notes to the left of the 3 black notes, okay? If you remember C and F, that's what I encourage you to do. Any note is quite easy to find from there. So if I said, for example, D, you can find it's just next to C. If I said G, you can find it's just next to F. Excuse me. And then A, B, C is there. So A is in a bit of a strange location, okay? It's here between these 2 black notes, which is why C is probably easy to find. So and the letters of the piano go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you go back to A again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it goes on forever like that. Okay? So anyway, this song is in the scale of C. What that means is there are no sharps, okay? There's no black notes in this scale. Let me just show you. So this is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then the top note is C. The bottom of the top note is C, okay? Now, the important thing you need to know for the purposes of making music is that every note you can build a chord from. It's very simple to build a chord. You simply take any note in the scale, so take C for example, you skip a note, and then you play the next note, so E, skip a note and play the next note, G. Don't use those fingers, that's terrible fingering, there you go. Use your thumb, middle finger and little finger, that's a chord of C. D is exactly the same, you just move up like that. Now I call this a thumb inversion chord. So in this tutorial we're going to learn some basic chords in the key of C major. This is going to be your foundations for all the rest of the tutorials you do, if you do any more tutorials with me, which I hope you will. So I'd really encourage you to take time to do this. More advanced players will probably find it a bit boring, but if you're not an advanced player, if you're sort of starting to learn, this is really important. Take the time to learn this. These are your building blocks, okay? So that's chord of C, chord of D or chord 2, chord of E, chord of F, chord of G, chord of A. There is no chord on B in pop music generally on note 7, okay? So you've got 6 different chords in a song, all right? So, and you can, if you talk about them in numbers, it's easy to understand the theory, but obviously we need to use the letters as well. Okay, so that's that. Now, this is the introduction to Taylor Swift's Christmas Tree Farm. It's got 5 chords in it. They're quite interesting, they're quite fun. So the verse and the chorus and the rest of the song is going to be so easy. It's going to be one of the easiest songs you ever play. But this intro is a bit more complicated. It's got some sort of more jazzy chords, quite exciting for me. I do like these more jazzy chords. You don't see it so much in pop, and it's a good opportunity for you to learn a bit of theory. So without further ado, let's do this. So first chord is very simple, and it's a chord of it's chord 6 built on the 6th note of the scale, which is A. Okay. Now you remember this is your A, B, C. So you remember with the chord, you take that the first note, you skip a note, take the next one, skip a note, take the next one. That's your chord of A minor, and that's exactly what the pianist appears to be playing from what I can hear in this song. So that's your first chord. I'm going to put my pedal down, and my sustain pedal as I play it. Hold on. Just chord up there, yep. If I don't, that happens when I take my hand away. Put the pedal down, it rings on nicely like that, okay? So, this is your first chord. Very simple. I'm going to see if I can find the lyrics here to help me with this. So this is my winter night. I don't know this song very well, by the way, but I'll do my best. My winter nights are taken up by static. Okay, so that was your A minor, nice and easy. All right. The next chord is and by the way, the bass, for the bass you can quite simply put an A in the bass. Let's just do an A. Move the microphone a bit. Let's just do an A here. You can do it wherever you want. You can do it there, okay? But the bass typically, for this song, we're just going to put... The piano only plays this hand, okay? Other instruments, like the bass guitar is playing down here, but to make it sound good, we need to put some bass in. So we're just going to put a simple A in the bass. My winter nights are... Look back at the words. Taken up by static. Okay, fine. Nice and easy. Next chord is sharp 5. This is an unusual chord. It's not one of your standard chords. It's very simple. Now for sharp 5, what we're actually going to do is we're going to take chord 5 would be G, skip a note B, skip a note D. Okay, so that's your chord 5. Sharp 5 is very easy. You actually just take the G and sharpen it. That's actually a diminished chord. You often see in songs chord 5, sharp 5 diminished, and then 6. We're going from 6, which is A minor, to sharp 5, okay? Nice and simple. And it's diminished chord, I don't know whether I'm going to bother explaining anything about it. That's probably enough, all you need to know about that, okay? So you're playing, instead of playing a G, all you're doing is sharpening the root and getting that. And that's your chord. And in the bass you can put yourself a nice G sharp, and you get that, okay? So let's put that together now. So it's my winter nights are taken up by static. Sorry about the singing, not as good as Taylor. Stress and holiday traffic. Okay, so we're gonna do the next chord now. Now this is A minor again, but this time it's an A minor 7th, alright? This is the cool bit of theory now. A minor is A, skip a note C, skip a note E, alright? A minor 7th, so that's called the first in the A scale, that'd be the third in an A minor scale, and that'd be the fifth, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 7th, 6, 7. You just add the 7th in, okay? And that's your A minor 7th, alright? So that's nice and simple. The more complicated thing is, how shall I explain this? Okay, so there's your A minor chord. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put the A in the bass, like that. Nice A in the bass, that's fine. Now the 7th is there's the G, okay? Well, what we're going to do is instead of putting the G there, we're going to put it down here. You see that? So that's what we're going to do. But then, here's the next fun thing. Since we've got an A in the bass here, we don't need the A here. So all we need to do is that. Alright? So that's your A minor 7th. But it's really simple, because it actually just goes A minor, G sharp diminished, and you come back to the A minor, move that thumb across to there, okay? So I suggest let's practice that a little bit to make sure you can get that, okay? So we've got the A minor, that's nice and easy. Okay, we're going to move everything down a note and bring the hand forward so the thumb goes to there. Practice that with me. So let's try A minor. Or maybe we should do all the chords before we start practicing them, okay? So that's your A minor, and then bring the thumb down here, and we're going to come to this A minor 7th. Okay, let's put that together. My winter nights are taken up by static, stress, and holiday shopping, traffic. So you see it's a bit more juicy than the straight A minor, alright? And then we've got, but I close my eyes and I'm somewhere, and then on else, I've got a nice F major 7th, okay? Now for F major 7th, this is very simple again. You take the F chord and do exactly what you did before. You then add the 7th, just like that. So that was A minor 7th. This is now F major 7th, okay? Don't worry about why some of them are major and some of them are minor. That's a bit advanced for this tutorial. Just the key thing is you're just playing the notes in the C scale, which is why we're working in this key and why I've written it out for you, okay? It's all the white notes. Fantastic way to start learning your piano if you haven't played before. So anyway, this is your F major 7th. We're going to put... Oh, I need to move the microphone there. Hold on. There we go. So we've got an F major 7th. But the great thing is, because we've got the F in the bass, we don't need it there. So look what we end up with. This chord again, which is just basically the A minor from the beginning. So what we end up with then is this, followed by everything dropping back to there, and then we come back to the A minor but move the thumb across the G, and now, fun, we're back to A minor. Okay? So, and then with the F in the bass, that's a nice F major 7th. I can't be able to sing it again yet, we'll do it in a second. So now we'll just do the last chord, and the last chord is D major 7th, okay? Now this is interesting. So D, it would usually be D minor in this key, okay? So that's D minor, alright? And this would be then D minor 7th, obviously, okay? Oh, that's actually a 9th, that chord. Should I adjust that, or are you going to remember that? Hold on, let me just change that. Pretty sure, yeah, that's a 9th. Hold on, let's correct that. Oh, I'll find my pen. Yeah, this is a D major 9th, which is a lot more exciting. Well, a note more exciting to be precise. So, this is a great theory lesson, really. So, there's your D minor 7th. To make a D minor 9th, I'm sure you can guess what you do. You just go 2 up. That's a D minor 9th, okay? However, for this song, we're going to play D major 9th. Now, to make a minor chord into a major chord, you simply take the middle note. This works with any major chord, minor chord. You take the middle note and raise it up a semitone. In this case, you're moving it to the black note. So that's your D major. So then D major 9th is that, okay? So, but of course the great thing is, of course you don't do the D with this hand, you do it with this hand. And that's your D major 9th. And that is the end of the intro. So let's just put all that together, just so I can prove to you that it sounds somewhat like it. In fact, let's not do that. Let me, first of all, let's just have a little practice of the whole thing. I'm just going to check that the camera's still rolling. Oh my god. Amazing. I was expecting it to have turned itself off for some inexplicable reason. Let's work on this. So we've got A minor. Learn to get yourself onto that chord first. Then you've got to move to the second chord. You're moving everything back. Do you see that? You lock your hand, lock all your fingers in place. This you move everything back a semitone, but you've also got to move the hand forward and get the thumb on that G sharp. So practice that with me. Ready? So we're going to go, and the great thing is once you've played it, and you notice I'm not just doing that. I'm going dun like that. That's what they do on the track. Taylor's trusty pianist. I actually saw her playing on Graham Norton last week, and she was actually playing. I haven't actually seen her play piano before, so that's pretty cool. I don't know whether she's played it on this track, or probably she hasn't. But anyway, so although it is quite simple piano, it's ridiculously simple in the verse. So you never know. Not saying she's not an accomplished pianist. I just haven't seen her play before, so I can't really comment. Anyway, so yeah, so going to go to there. Then come down, but at the same time go diagonally up. Okay, so that's what you got to do for the first 2 chords. And then diagonally up. So do it with me, you ready? The great thing is with the pedal down, you can take your hand away, it gives you time to move, and then you lift the pedal and put it down again as you play the new chord. Okay, so do this with me, and then shift to the left and down a bit to get your thumb onto there. If you want to do it really carefully, do that. Then shift to the left, all the fingers, just lock your hand, all the fingers go down one, and then come forward and do that. And then it's quite easy to get back to here. Okay, practice that lots. Alright, next chord then is, okay, then you're going to come, these 2 fingers now, come back to here for the next chord. This is the A minor 7th, alright? Okay, so they're going to go back to there, but this one then comes down to the G. Okay? So that's your A minor 7th, and here's the really cool thing, then you go back to the first chord. This one's more complicated, but all that is, I think, pretty simple actually. Let's do this together again. So we've got A minor 7th, coming down to G sharp diminished, back to A minor 7th. First one was A minor, sorry. And then we just bring the thumb up. We've got an F major 7th. And the last one is the most complicated one. You're actually just keeping these 3 notes, which is brilliant, and then just slide forward and your thumb's got to hit that. How easy is that? Come on. So, let's do that together. So you got A minor, down slightly for the G sharp diminished, back up and bring the thumb down for the A minor 7th, and then bring your thumb up one here for the F major 7th, and then last of all, you just got to slide down and get your thumb here. Okay? And then I'm doing octaves in the bass, but you've just got to learn to do, you can just do it here if you want, or here. Here's nice, it's a bit more throaty. So just practice going A, G sharp, A, F, D. So probably, oh, this microphone's getting in the way. Probably want to put your hand here. Okay, so you're going to go A, then this finger goes to here, G sharp, nice and easy. And then thumb back to A, then your third finger's there for the F, and then your little finger's there for the D. Try and use the right fingers, it's nice and simple. You just got to keep each finger on each consecutive key like that, and then that one's going to go there. So it's, practice that loads, then you just put it together. And don't forget your pedal will help you get to the next chord, and then back to, oh sorry, A minor 7th, F major 7th, and then, whoops, D major 9th. Alright? Do it all very, very slowly until you've got, get each component right separately, and then only when you've got each hand perfect separately, put it together. The big problem most people have is they rush. They try and just put it all together too quickly. All that'll happen is you'll start making mistakes, and then you'll learn the mistakes, and then you'll find that you can't stop doing those mistakes. Instead of doing that, just get it right. Do it slowly and accurately. Get it right. I'm going to play it to you once, and then we're going to finish this section of the tutorial. The word changes go, my winter nights are taken up by, on static, stress and holiday shopping, traffic, and then, but I close my eyes and I'm somewhere else, I think it is then, else, like, and then magic, there you go. Brilliant. The next, then it goes to G. It's so easy, this next bit. So we'll get into the next, on the next part we'll get into the verse, and what I'm going to do in the verse in this song is teach you the basic inversions you need to know, how to play all the basic chords. This is the foundations for all of the rest of the stuff we're going to do. So I really encourage you to work through the next few parts, because it will set you up to do everything else that's far more complicated if you want to keep following my tutorials. So now move on to part 2 if you want to play the verse. Okay, so my winter nights are taken up by static, stress, and holiday shopping traffic. But I close my eyes and I'm somewhere else like magic. I missed a note there, and then it's yeah, I got that slightly wrong. One more time. My winter nights are taken up by static, stress, and holiday shopping traffic. But I guess you must have to go what's the next chord? Close my eyes, and I'm somewhere else like magic. Oh, I've lost it now. What is it? Ugh. You'll have to fit the lyrics on to each note yourself. I think one more time. So, my winter nights are taken up by static. Whoops. Stress and holiday shopping traffic. But I close my eyes and I'm somewhere else, just like magic.